You like that?
I was dancing to your intro.
No big deal. It's all fun and games. So what is up this morning? Hold on.
Good morning. Good morning.
We had a technical difficulty, wouldn't connecting. So now I think we're good to go.
I think we're
We'll
good.
check
If we're just
though.
talking to ourselves, then hi, self.
You know, it's an interesting conversation every time. You know what I mean? Especially with just the inner workings of my life inside my head, or just
I don't want you to share.
constantly going there. It says that we are. It's not showing. It's stupid technology. Well, we'll see. Anyway,
I'm going to keep my hands off because I will not help in any regards. I'm just going to sit here.
It's not working. Nothing's working.
So good morning to anybody that may be watching this. So Emilio, your book, well, book 1 of 2 is out. At least the paperback version of it is. And we're going to talk a little bit about why it's just the paperback version right now. And the word process, because it's been quite a word in our lives the last few months. But how are you doing? How are you feeling about your book being out?
Doing good. It is a relief to see it going and moving in live out there in the world.
For sure.
But I'm sorry, I'm distracted. This thing is
no, it's okay. It's okay. You're trying to figure out if we're talking to anybody except ourselves. I got you.
It is making me angry. It was all fine. It was all fine earlier, and I'm not sure what happened. But anyway, yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to see something, as you work through stuff and try to get things going. It's exciting to see it kind of get done and have an endpoint. Which is nice.
Yeah. To be honest, this is one of my more challenging books that I've helped people work on. For anyone that doesn't know already, A Lean Six Sigma Journey, Pick Your Own Adventure is what it sounds like. It's a pick your own adventure book about the Lean Six Sigma process. And usually Lean Six books are very technical and there's not a whole lot of creativity in them and they're just very dry. And we tried to, Emilio came up with the idea, of course, by himself first and then found me out in the world. But, to try to bring some kind of personality and fun to something that has no personality and is no fun.
Right. So I think we talked about this last time a little bit, and I think the why behind it, the book, the original purpose was because I don't learn good on certain things, and
a lot of us don't. A lot of us learn different ways.
But I think having that idea pop in my head and say, hey, how about we do a pick your own adventure book and see how that works out? That was kind of nifty to me. Like that was a great idea in my head.
It is a great idea.
It sounded great. It sounded fun. And then, it's ironic. I'm not sure you used that right. Alanis Morissette messed me up. But
she messed a lot of people up with that song, I think, but you're using it correctly.
It's ironic that it's about a process improvement thing, right? The whole book, and it lays it out in the DMAIC process. However, that should be pretty easy to write about. I think going through and trying to figure out how to put a story behind it and then trying to add characters, which I've never done before, and then trying to keep those characters straight and then trying to have a storyline to go through it. That was challenging, right?
For sure.
Which, then at that point in time, that thing sat on my laptop for a while. Like it just sat there.
Yeah.
And then, I had the idea. I was like, let's go find someone to help me. And we've never actually talked about this before, is you and I met via Facebook third party. On that side, I got recommended, but I also got recommended other people. So I sat down. You were the first person I met. We chatted for a little bit. It was going to be a 30-minute conversation. Ended up like it'd be an hour and 10.
Like an hour 10, on
that side of the house. And we kept chatting. And I was, we're very upfront and say, I have 2 other people scheduled to talk to. I got to, make sure, I don't leave them hanging. Knowing I knew I was going to pick you unless there was some kind of big epiphany, some big, aha moment for the other 2. And they were fine. I think the important part was, being able to click and be able to have a conversation. And be able to get along with the person. So that was fun. So at that point, that was March at that point in time. So what we're doing right now is an after action review, doing our thing here. So we're doing it live, everybody. So
this is my exit interview because Emilio is firing me.
At this point in time, it's all about how I did everything perfectly and how
no mistakes whatsoever.
She was just making mistakes left and right, and I was just trying to help her
Couldn't
along.
follow.
But we sat down and we had very good intentions. I think.
Yes.
I think we had very good intentions. We had 2 projects, and we don't really talk about the first one yet because it's not done. But we proposed. I had 2 projects. I had 2 books I wanted to write. This was number 2 of the group, if you will. And we laid it all out, saying how we got to do things, how we're gonna. We even put a task list together by dates, and how we should have everything done. We decided to do project 2, number 2, this one right here, and project 1, the first one, because that was going to take time to get approvals and stuff like that. And we thought this one would be a quick win and an easy
we're like,
one.
oh, it'll be easy. Like we'll
this is from front to back. We're going to be easy and be done with. But people don't talk about that stuff. They don't talk about their failures, and I'm all about sharing how I screw things up.
You don't learn otherwise.
So you guys don't do the same. But I think we had a pretty good task list. We assigned tasks to each other within the Google Workspace. We had a list by dates. We did not meet one of them. I reviewed it last night. We missed.
To be honest, I forgot that task list even existed some days.
After a while, you just like, it is what it is, But we tried. We did everything. We went through. We put assigned dates. We're gonna have first draft of project 1 done by this time. You're gonna have your notes done, and we're gonna have this done. Okay, we're gonna have revised edits on this one for project 1 and this. And I remember it was Cinco de Mayo, 5 days.
Yes, it was.
Is when we were going to start on this one, and we didn't start on this one until mid-June.
I was going to say middle of summer for sure.
And then you start adding in vacations and other things.
Kids
and the timeline just keeps getting punted down. And
I had a rough summer, man. My summer was not full of joy and laughter. It was a rough one. And so
it's life at that point in time. So so every best laid plan, and I felt after our second meeting, after you initially made it formal by maybe sign a contract, which
sorry,
thought we're just friends, but it's cool.
We are friends. It's just in writing now with both of our signatures.
But I think after the second meeting, I was like, we should be done by like June.
Yeah, we're gonna
everything. This is gonna be easy. This is gonna be so easy. So I think we didn't set realistic goals for ourselves. We did stretch goals on ourselves. We said we could stretch ourselves out a little bit here and try. But I think if we ever do this again, which we probably will, I think we're going to.
That's the goal.
We've learned a lot.
Yes.
At this point in time. So
I've learned so much.
A lot of people think, start to finish. That's a linear book. This one, we took a challenge by making it non-linear and picking your own adventure, which means if you decide one thing, you're going to pop over 10 pages to the right. That might be the right decision, which pops you to the next page. Or it might be the wrong decision, which reverses you back 12 pages to start back over and go back and forth. When I wrote it out in the first draft, it was turn to page and I left it blank.
Right.
And I think, what are your thoughts on that after going through it?
Well, I mean, I don't blame you for leaving it blank because it's overwhelming to try to remember where you put stuff. And, it's certainly, I would have done the same thing. I mean, if I was hiring an editor, I would have left it blank too, because I'm like, that's on you to figure out, you're the editor. I wrote it, now figure out where it's supposed to go. But we definitely could have done a better job of, making sure that you had some general idea of the page numbers. When you talk to me, I should have had you sit down and been like, can you try to at least point me in the general direction of where you think this needs to go? And then, because I had no idea what Lean Six Sigma even was when I met you. Like, you were talking Chinese to me at that point. I was like, I don't even know what this is. So I could have done a better job with orienting myself of like what exactly it was as well. So yeah, I mean, it sounds easy enough. You're like, oh, I just have to jump 10 pages. Like, that's fine. I'm on page 50. I jumped to page 60. And I was falsely confident in myself as well, that I was like, well, after I do the first like 20, 30 pages, like I'll get it down It'll be fine. Like I've edited tons of books. I've got this, but I was overly confident for sure in my skills with a pick your own adventure book, because it is really complicated. I did not think about it going into formatting, and then formatting, the margins change and the pages change. And my poor formatter is over here like, none of your stuff is in the right spot. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. And I'm like, but can you just change the number? And he's like, that's not my job. You're the editor. I'm the formatter. And so we had to go back and forth and back and forth. And I learned a lot of lessons about planning and mapping and making sure that, if there needs to be a 2-hour Zoom call where we go through page by page by page, then that's what we do, because it's hard too when you're virtual. Emilio and I do not live in the same, we're close, but we don't live in the same part of the world. And now I'm talking too much and he's walking away from the conversation.
It's like, I'm done. I'm done talking. I meant to grab this earlier.
You're like, shut up. I asked you one question.
I was like, I'm done. But you bring a good point, right? We were editing off a Google Doc originally, right? It was Google Doc goes there, which is nice for editing and putting notes in. I knew exactly putting comments in there. You're telling me that, hey, that your English is not good. I'm like, okay, thank you. It's kind of thing. How does this work out? But we're doing it, by 8.5 by 11 page on the screen. Right. And then you have to go through and get it formatted. So those pages that we would have done if I did it by 8 by 11 change. And then so when we change it to 8 by 11 to this size, 6 by 9, it definitely shifted everything. And then
everything. Yeah. And not just by like a page or two. It was like 5 pages off,
Right. And then you add an image or a graph or a table. Yeah. Then that shit, because that was a whole page on my 8 by 11, which makes sense.
In the book, it's like this big.
Then it gets too small, but you got to be able to read it. So you got to enlarge it. And then that shifts everything over. So everything had a cascading effect. And I don't think.
Oh, 1,000%.
I don't think that you and I understood that back in March.
No, definitely not. I mean, I knew, obviously, I've been through formatting a bunch of books, but I work on novels and memoirs specifically. Yeah. So I know that obviously things move around and they change, but the books I typically work on do not have a lot of graphs, images, tables, like any of that stuff. And then you add in that you're having to guide your reader into going to the right spot. You have to be very, very precision oriented. Whereas with a novel, you can be like, it can flow one way or the other, and it's fine. It's not the same at all.
Yeah. I think one thing you said, and I think was some books have typos, and that's okay.
Yes.
Right. I find those. I find those too. But I think my response was, "What is the page number?" So
we can't have exactly. I was like, I know. I'm just thinking out loud that maybe there might be typos too.
We can't have page numbers. We can't have the.
It's difficult when you have to make sure that it's consistent across the board and that you cannot have a single mistake, or otherwise the reader is going to be like, what's going on?
It gets confusing. I mean, it really does. It does at that point in time. And then, that was probably our last challenge on that side of the house. But our initial challenge was trying to find a cover designer who actually, if anybody watches later, everybody's I'm a simple, clean line person. I don't like frills and all this other stuff on there. Yes. Very clean. Let's get the point across. There's the book.
Words on a page. That's it.
Words on a page. That's what you need to do, right? But you're trying to find a cover designer. We went through several, and several ghosted us. So some of us didn't ever respond. Some initiated conversation, and then they fell off the earth, I guess, or
they would send me AI slop garbage as their samples. And this is what also I've had to just think about the word process a lot in this book, because I had a process in place with a cover designer who I've been using for years and years and years. I mean, since 2020, I've been working with this guy, and he just fell off of the earth. It was he was like, oh, well, I'm on a trip and I'll get to you when I get to you. And I'm like, dude, I gave you a heads up about this 2 months ago. where's our process that we've had in place for years, So had to find a new cover designer, and I was freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, this is, because that's my side of things. Like, that is in my control. I'm the one that's supposed to be helping you. I was not about to send you out to find cover designers and formatters. I'm like, this is what you're paying me for. So yeah, very stressful. Thank goodness we found someone that understood the word simple and clean, and not, there were some that people sent with like pieces of pizza, and like, I'm like, oh my God, you are just not, you're not understanding the word simple.
But it's like you said, it's a process that you established, and then it's like, what happened when it breaks? But it was amazing that, people just stopped talking at that point in time. Like,
I want to give you money. Like, don't stop talking to me,
And ironically, I went back to that same Facebook group I belong to and asked for cover designers. And it's a bunch of entrepreneurs in there who want stuff and want to do stuff. And they recommended. I recommend. Perfect. Connect you to. And it was
silence.
Silence after that. Like, here's this done. It's like, well, that's not how you get stuff done. You got to communicate a little bit here. Just have a little two-way communication.
And I'm the same as you. I like to have a conversation before I just like hand my money over. And I'm like, okay, do it. I like to make sure that, and same with like my clients. I want to make sure we're going to vibe and there's an energy and we're feeding off of one another. I don't want you to just hand me money and I edit your book. I want there to be a relationship, And so I had that with my cover designer and with our formatter, and both have been, I don't know what's going on, but both have been not their typical selves. And I've had to adjust and revisit, and that's okay. It is stressful. I'm not going to lie and be like, I'm just over here chilling out. But I mean, some of it is out of my control, and I have to find that very fine line between like, I'm micromanaging and I'm also just trusting the process that they're working on it and they're going to get it to me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because micromanaging, in my opinion, is one of the quickest ways to ruin a relationship. So I'm like, I want to trust you because I have a relationship with you, but like, come on, it's getting old, So,
well, I think also in the beginning with you and I was a lot of like, let's test each other out kind of thing. How do you like this? How do you like that? Okay, and after like probably month 3, you're like, I don't care. Just make it happen.
Asshole in a text the other day.
Yes, I was going to bring that up. I was going to say that it was.
To be fair, you were being an asshole.
I think I'm the only client or friend contract you have that
you hold that honor for sure. Only client I've ever used any profanity with, honestly, other than an occasional F word or like something.
No, it was directed to me.
Yeah, it was. I put a laughing emoji, so I was playing.
It was playful. Like, I'm not sure he's gonna take this one. Let's put an LOL at the end.
To be fair, you had just told me that there was no guarantee I was on a list of people that you actually liked. So it was an appropriate response.
Still a fair answer on that point.
But no, we have had to trust each other. We've had to adjust to the process that we thought was going to be in front of us. And just roll with the punches, kind of.
I think that's one thing people, because you see a lot of people writing books now and trying to do self-publishing, which is exciting.
Which is great. I mean, I think it's wonderful.
And by the way, I talked to other publishers out there, people. Like I talked to, wasn't the first or second. I spread my wing. We actually talked to. We did a group call with the publisher. So there are options. It just wasn't the option for me or her because I didn't. Yeah. Once we signed the contract, we were a team.
Made our friendship official.
Yeah. We were a team at that point in time. We kind of stayed that way this entire time.
Absolutely.
That's why I put her name on the book too. That way, if you hate it, you can also tell
blame me. I'm the editor. You can blame it all on me.
But it was a process trying to figure this all out. Like it's a process in itself to do a book, and it's a process to figure out how to do the book, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So it's trying to find the idea of what you want to do, what you're passionate about. Because I've been talking about Lean Six Sigma for a while now, and then popped in my head, we should do that. I like Pick Your Own Adventure books. That was fun. And then you got to find someone who's going to help you along that journey at that point in time, and you have to get along with them. And I think that's what we've learned. And then what we're doing now, talking about, we have a group chat, on Google Chat. So our chat is, it's just a lot of us going, what do you think about this? How about this? How about that? And you would not, maybe one day we'll publish the chat. I don't know, but it's the
little excerpts.
little excerpts still but it's like you're just kind of blacked out, redacted. But
Yes.
but there was a lot of ideas that came out in the very beginning, right? How about this? How about we do this? Can I do this? Hey, how about you should do this? How about that? Hey, those are all terrible. Get on a Zoom call. Let's go through this and kind of go that way. Because you know, at a certain point, you think, and just like I thought, that the book I wrote was perfect on the side house. It was perfect. It was exactly what it needed to be done. I just need you to do a once over, make sure I actually spelled things correctly.
Yeah, that was your first instruction. You were like, just check my grammar and spelling and make sure all the page numbers are right. I'm like, okay.
I think you should be good, right? But you need that second set of eyes, the third pair of eyes, just to kind of review it, because if it makes sense, it made sense to me. I mean, it might, but yeah.
And even deep into my editing, I'm like, I can't even see my own editing like oversights anymore because I've been editing this thing. I mean, I've read the book, I don't even know how many times at this point. Yeah. So I had to get you to go back and double check me to make sure I wasn't too lost in the weeds, you know. And
then at that point in time, that's how it works out, though, is because one edit round, it was me to you, you to me to you, me to you, back to me.
Yep.
There was a random character in there that didn't exist any other time.
One of the characters' names got changed to your wife's name. I think it was like Jennifer or something. And you were like, how did Evelyn turn into Jennifer? I'm like, I don't know.
I was like, I don't know how this worked out. We've never mentioned Jenny, but we've never mentioned Jenny the entire time.
Yeah, no. Somehow, not Jennifer, Jenny. That's right.
But we've changed it. Somehow it flipped in there somewhere. And where was that happened? Now did it happen other places? Now.
Yeah, now we got to go through the whole thing again and make sure that Jenny doesn't exist anywhere except for Jennytown, where Stella's Pizza is. And
exactly. So at that point in time, you got to kind of stop for a minute, put it away, and just kind of go from there. And I think that was kind of our responses a couple of times to each other was, I'm not looking at this today.
Honestly, you more than me, and you helped me in a lot of ways because I do get tunnel vision. I get very like, I'm only here. And sometimes that is not a healthy or effective even way to go about things. I mean, there'd be some nights where I'm like, okay, it's 9 p.m. I need to keep doing this. And then you would be like, I'm not looking at this anymore. I'd be like, you know what? If he's not, I'm not. Like,
no. At a certain point, there's diminishing returns. And after a while, I'm like, I hope they all fail. I hope they all fail every decision point. I want this pizza shop to shut down. I don't want to see it
toward the end of September, you were like, just publish it. And I'm like, I don't have a little bit left to do. Like,
I hope the pizza place falls.
It burns to the ground.
But it's a fun thing. So what the fun thing part is now is, if people enjoy this one, volume 2 is already in the works, right? And but it's lessons learned from this one. So the next one, it's going to be the process of doing the book is going to be so much easier.
Yes.
And then lastly, it's going to be easier on my end writing it, just because now I know how to make it easier on the formatter and you, so we don't have to go back and forth. So the way I wrote it originally was good, but it could have been better, right? And it could be direct to this page. Here's the heading. We'll change it to a page number in different fonts, just to make my idea a little more forthcoming, opposed to guess what I'm thinking.
That's a valid point, and I appreciate that insight. And as far as on my end, I should have done a better job of like making sure I fully understood the task that was in front of me, and just maybe I should have like had the formatter format it down to its size first and then edit it, or switched up my own process that I'm used to using, because I never send it into formatting until it's 1000% ready. And maybe I should have flipped that around and been like, give me a good point first of where things are going to be, and then I'll edit, so it's just a matter of learning. And
well, I told you at the very beginning of this conversation, the very first time we had a conversation or the second time we did, when we decided to sign the friendship contract, was, all right, so which one do you want to do? Project 1 or project 2? You're like, both. I'm like, are you sure? You're like, yeah.
Sure. I was like, sure. And I'll charge you my normal rate and it'll all be fine. Like, I got it. I was like, it's totally fine.
I was like, both. You're like, yeah. I was like, all right.
2 for 1, basically. I mean, I was like, it'll be easy,
Well, maybe yes, it was going to be easy. You know, all the draft was there, right? And it wasn't like I was coming empty-handed. I wasn't coming
No. I
with,
mean, it
with
was,
that.
and honestly, it kind of was easier in some ways than the other book, which we haven't even started talking about yet. But
No,
as far as like energy that's needed to, I don't know, it was less emotional, I guess, is
yeah,
the only way I can explain it. But
you were torn between the characters
well, you're dealing with not really real people. So it's like, you know, who
I
cares
tell you,
if
they're all
comes
real.
from
Every one of them are real in my head. They're real.
yeah, they're all real in Emilio's mind. But
Yeah.
no, it's again, I was overly confident in how much of a task it was going to be. So yeah, better mapping next time for sure. And just a better understanding of maybe we need to do it backwards in a way for a book like this. It's been a big learning lesson for sure.
Yeah, and I think it was. I think it's fun to kind of go through it and talk through it and just kind of say, because we, you know, through the entire process, we have been in constant communication. Like it wasn't been
pretty much every day. I mean,
it hasn't been, you know, weeks upon end where I haven't heard from you.
No.
Even
Can you imagine if we went weeks without? This would come out in 2026.
But yeah, we talked. So we wasn't like it was a delay in communication, right? It wasn't like we weren't communicating. It was we didn't know what we didn't know when we started this, but now we know. 100%. And then when the next one comes out, the next adventure, your next Lean Six Sigma journey, our process is going to be better, which is going to be fun to do, and it should be a week turnaround, guys. 1 week turnaround, submit it, should be out the door.
I'm actually going to start editing it right now. It's
just like that. But it's been fun. It's been a fun process, and so
you've made it fun. To be very fair, you've made it very, very enjoyable. You know, you tell some good jokes sometimes. You know, so
but normally funny.
It's been a good time.
But I think it's a good thing to kind of partner up like this and kind of go this direction. So if anybody's watching on my LinkedIn who's connected with me, connect with Laura, bug her, and get your next book written. But I will share.
I would love to talk to anyone that has any kind of writing endeavor on their mind. But I'm excited for your next book too. Like I'm really excited for that one.
So we will. Let me see here. I can't allow stupid windows. So we're gonna.
Just gotta find the right button. It's okay.
It's ridiculous. It's the crazy thing. So right now we have this book is up and available, right? It's on Amazon. This is one we've been talking about this entire time. We've been this has been our test subject on, at least my test subject, not hers, but mine, on self-publishing and understanding how it works, and then how to, you know, the inner workings behind self-publishing, which was kind of fun to see on that side of the house. Our first project, which is becoming the second project now, it is under review, and this is just the cover art proof design we have right now on there. But once it's all finished with the review from the Department of Defense, Department of War, whatever we're calling this,
whatever you prefer to call it,
whatever you want to do, don't care. Once it's done with the review, we'll be able to put this back out there into the public. This one is a series of short stories written by Army warrant officers. So this is all their first, very different. We'll talk about this later on, but I will tell you, this was my initial one that I had on my laptop for 3 years. And I told Laura that I don't want to read it anymore. This is yours. Don't call me until it's all done, because I'm tired of reading their stories. But we'll talk more in depth on how that process was, because it is completely different than the Lean Six Sigma one on that side of the house. But I will tell you, if you're writing a book and you're military, if you didn't know, you're supposed to get it reviewed before you go publish it. So FYI, words of wisdom. Again, that was a lesson learned also. There's a lesson learned in that one. We'll talk about that process when this one comes out. Hopefully, once it gets done. Who knows? But again,
did I foresee turning in documents to the Pentagon as part of my editing career? I did not, but it was cool. I mean, it was cool to do.
You're welcome. And it got rejected.
Yeah,
you submitted and you got rejected. See,
I did. So I got rejected the first time.
You got to redo it. But this whole point was like our public AAR, if you will, our public after action review, our public hot wash, whatever you want to do, air our grievances out to the public, and go from there. But it was a process that had to be done, I think, either good, bad, or ugly.
1,000%.
You would not know how to do it ever, you might not use it again, this process, who knows? But yeah, at least if we do, bam, we got like our do's and don'ts on that side of the house. And then we'll refine that list, and then we'll be able to crank out.
3.
Yeah, we'll be able to crank out volume 3 within like an hour on that side.
Yeah, and then it's every 24 hours. You just got new volumes.
Just new volumes every day on that side of the house. But it needs to be talked about, and I think it's exciting to show. We kind of hype it up. I would appreciate it by going to Amazon. That'd be cool.
Yes,
and maybe just click that.
So appreciated. You don't even have to read the book. You can just be like, I'm so excited to read this, and just leave a review.
Yes, unless you hate me, then please don't leave a review. Leave that for LinkedIn and social media. Just profess your hate that way.
Just send him a message directly. Just
like normal people. More exciting stuff while we have everybody captured, and we got 7 to 8 seconds. Laura and I will be talking at the Florida Veterans Boots to Business on November 5th. Yes. It's all for all Florida vets, and we're kind of going over kind of my transition story into how you did these books here, and talking about so there I was, and a Lean Six Sigma journey, and trying to motivate and get everybody going in that direction. So we'll be doing that on November 5th.
Yeah, we'll send out some more information too when it gets closer. We'll, post links and things like that. So
it's exciting times there. So I'm excited. We'll go through there, and we'll kind of do the same thing. But again, if you're not connected with Laura, she should have at least 100 to 200 connection requests sitting in her inbox right now. That would be great.
And I'll do my best to remember LinkedIn exists and check them.
It took her 2 months to accept my connection request on LinkedIn.
But hey, it's official. It's official.
It's official again. It's official. So, but you can check us both out. Check her website out, her social media, mine. Mine. It's all over the place. But this has been fun. I'm going to
thanks for yapping with me for a little bit about books. It's my favorite thing to do. So I appreciate it. And I'll talk to you soon. I'll probably talk to you later today.
Yep, exactly. See everybody later. Bye.
Bye.